Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another random match here on WWE 2K16. Now, sorry I haven't uploaded anything in a few days, but obviously with the Christmas period it's been a bit mad, but I've got a bit of time off work now, so I should be uploading. First things I am going to upload for you, as you can see, is going to be all 6 people from the recently released Legends downloadable content. So we're going to start things off with the Big Boss Man versus Mr. Perfect. We'll also see uploaded pretty soon Rowdy Roddy Piper versus the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. And of course, we will also see Lita taking on Trish Stratus. But that will be over the next few hours. I'm going to try and get all those matches uploaded for you and get the G1 Climax done as well. Yeah, I do apologise for not uploading anything. But like I say, I've got about 10 days off work now. Don't have to go back until the 6th of January. So I should be getting a lot of new stuff uploaded in that time. And there is the Big Boss Man. I have tried to upload this match already once, and the whole thing glitched out on me, which was a bit gutting because it was a really good match up until then. I think Big Boss Man tried to put Mr. Perfect through the announce table, and as he was doing that, Mr. Perfect glitched through the announce table and slid back into the ring, and Big Boss Man just stood there on top of the announce table watching until he was eventually counted out. So it was a little bit frustrating. Like I said, there's still quite a few glitches that 2K need to sort through on this game. But it's great to have these two guys. Of course, let's give you a quick idea of what I'm going to do with them. I think Big Boss Man is going to go into the retro roster for the last couple of weeks, of course, until we finish it off at the Clash of Champions. We'll be bringing the retro roster back at some point to do the Royal Rumble and Wrestlemania as well, probably. I think I might just bring it back and just do all of the pay-per-views. Might do Survivor Series, might do a Royal Rumble and a WrestleMania, like I said. We're also going to have Big Boss Man as part of the Attitude Era, of course, as part of our corporation formation, Vince McMahon's stable, of course, with the likes of Paul White. You've got Ken Shamrock as well, I think, is in there. So it's a decent little stable, and it will make I think Big Boss Man could also be involved in the hardcore division maybe as well. Mr. Perfect is somebody who again will be in the retro roster for the next few weeks until it finishes off. We'll also have him as a big part of the Attitude Era. I think he did come back during the Attitude Era for a small period of time, obviously before he unfortunately passed away. And I do have an idea of using him in our current day roster for a little bit of time as well. Maybe bringing him back to help Curtis Axel out. Maybe come back and form a tag team with Curtis Axel for a little bit of time. But yeah, we'll see how that all pans out. But at the moment, these two guys, yeah, we'll both be getting to the retro roster, and we'll see them both in the Attitude Era as well. I'd be interested to see who comes out on top of this match as well. I think Mr. Perfect is probably the better wrestler out of the two. And I'm looking forward to seeing Mr. Perfect in the Attitude Era because I believe that he could be a great addition to our Intercontinental Championship division as well up there. The likes of Mr. Perfect versus Chris Jericho versus Eddie Guerrero. Guys like that I think could be really, really good matches. And I don't know when the other downloadable contents are coming out, but of course our next one I think is going to be a retro-based one. So we'll do a few random matches with that as well. It's a shame because I would really like to use these guys in the retro roster going forward, but of course, like I've said before, with my full-time job, it's just too difficult to continue on doing 7 shows of the universe every single week. Perfect now throwing Boss Man back into the ring, and a big elbow across the face as well. Mr. Perfect now rolling Boss Man over. He's going to go up to the middle rope here by the looks of it, and dropping a knee across the face of the Big Boss Man. Rolls him over, and just dropping a boot on the arm as well. Boss Man reverses into that jawbreaker. And it's great to see the Big Boss Man. I don't remember the Big Boss Man being on any of these 2K16 games. Well, 2K16. I don't remember being on any of the wrestling games over the last few years at all. Mr. Perfect, of course, was on last year's as downloadable content again. I think it was part of the NWO pack or something like that. He came in. And again, that's something we could probably maybe do on the Attitude Era, is recreate some sort of NWO. Maybe we could bring Savage in. We could bring in Mr. Perfect. We've got Nash already. We're gonna get Scott Hall. That's a possibility. The only thing would be is changing the attires, because we have to use up a core slot for custom attires for wrestlers, which is a little bit annoying. I wish that wasn't the case, but it is. So I don't know if we're going to have enough space to change all the attires, but we can still do it. Perfect now behind Bossman, and there's a great backdrop. Running his foot across the face as well. And there's the small package there by Mr. Perfect. The referee slowed down, but still 2. And oh, it's only enough for a 2 count. It was close to a 3 though on Bossman. Now the one thing I have noticed about these two is their entrances are a lot quicker than some people as well, which is interesting. This means this random match might be a bit shorter than normal. But then again, the last one I had that I tried to record earlier, that did glitch out. That did go on for about 15-16 minutes before the glitch happened, but I think the match was pretty close to finishing there and then. Big uppercut there by Bossman. Bringing Mr. Perfect across. Putting him against that rope. What's he got planned here? Sending Perfect off that far rope, and there's a big power slam there by Bossman. And a clubbing blow across the back as well. And a big headbutt to the back of the head of Mr. Perfect. And yeah, like I said, I'm interested in having Bossman. I want to try and use the corporation a bit better, but I think to do so, we're going to need to have a big name in there that they can sort of back going forward for the championship. At the moment, The Rock is in with the Nation of Domination. Of course, we've got Triple H and Shawn Michaels in with DX. I think Austin will be feuding against the corporation. It's difficult, really, to really identify someone who can be part of that stable. I don't think it suits Undertaker or Kane. I think someone did make the comment recently that maybe Kurt Angle could be a possibility. But that'd be an interesting one, because either that or we could go with the dodgy Vince McMahon as champion sort of way forward, which is what WWE did at the time. So that's a possibility, maybe. We could do our own sort of Austin versus McMahon feud, but that would involve obviously not just Austin versus McMahon, but Austin versus the full corporation, Ken Shamrock, and the Big Boss Man. I don't think we use Ken Shamrock that much in the Universe mode so far, so maybe we should use him a bit more. Of course, Big Boss Man, there's Paul White. Maybe even Shane McMahon in part of that as well. Jawbreaker there by Curt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. Another jawbreaker as well. Big right hand, and Perfect coming back into this one now. There's the atomic drop on Bossman. And Bossman drops to the floor, as you would do if you've just been your entire body weight dropped onto your lower pelvic region, should we call it. Perfect grabs the leg. What's he going for here? We've seen it before. It's the Fisherman Suplex, the Perfect Plex. 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. Mr. Perfect wins his debut match here on our WWE 2K16 game, defeating the Big Boss Man via the Perfect Plex. And he did a very good job here, and I think we're gonna see great things out of both of these in our Universe mode. Like I said, not just in the retro roster, but I think in the Attitude Era as well. And I'm really looking forward to using them both. You see just a few more of the highlights. There's a backdrop by Mr. Perfect, who I said, of course, Mr. Perfect, I think will get a bit of use in the current day roster as well, coming back to form a tag team with his son, maybe, Curtis Axel. There was the quick roll-up earlier on. That was only enough for a 2 count. And there was the snapmare and the over-the-top style cutter. And again, that was only enough for a 2 count. I like doing these random matches. It gives us a real chance to use some more of these arenas as well. Clever move there by Mr. Perfect, just taking Bossman a few steps backwards to ensure that that pin took place middle of the ring. And Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig, victorious here in the first of our Legends Pack random matches. Like I said, we're going to have another 2 of these to come. Pretty good to try and get them all uploaded. One after the other. So, that is the end of this random match. I hope you have all enjoyed it. Of course, any suggestions for random matches, let me know in the comment section below. hopefully when we reduce the amount of Universe Mode shows I'm doing, I'll be able to do a lot more of these. But of course with the G1 Climax last week, it's really sort of taken up a lot of my time. But either way, if you have enjoyed it, then please do hit that like button. It does help me out a lot, makes the video easier to find and know, all that sort of shebang. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button for a lot more WWE 2K16 footage. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.